I'm Measure. And I'm Bloomin', and today we are going to be rating bad and good representations of twins in media, which includes anime, live action films, movies, and cartoons. I look like a living cartoon character. We dress the same by accident today, and we just both look like cartoon characters, so we're gonna be rating a lot of cartoons today. And this is all for jokes, obviously. It doesn't really affect my life that much. It just makes people who don't know a lot about twins come up to me and ask me a lot of stupid questions like, can you read each other's minds? Like, what she's thinking all the time? Would you ever switch places with her? Like, I'm just sick of this question, so we're gonna be going through some of the good representation of twins, some of the bad, and rating them with horrible memes we found on Pinterest. Yes. Also, we are twins. Identical twins. Identical twin sisters, so there's our credentials. Alright. We also made this on a PowerPoint slideshow, so get ready. Get some popcorn. Alright, since we're such optimists, we're going to be starting with the worst representation of twins in media. And here are some points we're going to be hitting. Twins that are too close, like, you know, like a little Sweet Home Alabama close. Another thing we don't like is if they're creepily similar. I know we said we dressed the same today, but we did not come wearing the same exact sweater, same exact bucket hat, same exact earrings, same exact necklace. And for some reason, bad representation of twins likes to make them evil masterminds or some sort of like big brain moment for the show or like whatever. They're super smart or scientists or people evil. Go clones. They look like clones. Clones equal science. Clone, science word. They do science. They smart. They smart. Which in some cases can be bad. Yeah. And complete opposites, so that's the opposite of too close. And then circus attractions. Some shows put twins in their shows, movies, whatever, to be like, oh my god, look at them, look at them. There's a twin. There's a twin there. Isn't our show so quirky? Yeah. So let's get into number one. First category of bad representation is, like we stated earlier, creepily close. These are the twins that are just like a little incestual. Yeah, I don't know if we can say that on air, but they make you wanna dial up 911. So let's jump into our first guess of this category. Here's Rem and Ram from ReZero. You can see in this picture, this is a tame picture of them that's in the anime. They're a little close. They're kind of played on like the, I don't even know. I've seen some bad fan art of them. Yeah. So that's mainly why they're on this list. And they were very close in the anime. Yeah. Like physically close, but their like actual relationship did not seem close at all. They did not seem like they cared about each other. Minor spoiler, in one part of the show, one of the twins, I forget which one, gets amnesia, forgets about the other twin. And they did not care. The other twin did not care at all. Like even when before they got amnesia, they didn't seem to care about each other too much. Which is fine, they didn't seem like siblings. Some twins hate each other, that's fine, but if they're that close in the anime and they do all these like they're like this all the time, like they're like that all the time and they like, do not care if they lose one another, that does not make sense. But there's a lot of tropes like this in anime that's just like, ew. Makes me vaguely uncomfortable. They didn't do anything too bad compared to the people on this list, but if I ever hear people come up to me and say, you should cosplay as Rem and Ram from ReZero, I'll be like, no. Like, that's just gross. No, because then they want you to post like this and be all like, I like cosplays of Rem and Ram. Their character designs are cool. I like the characters overall. Just wish they weren't as close to each other for fan service. So they get a Aaron Yeager and his gamer girl cat face. Gamer girl Aaron cat girl gamer girl Aaron Yeager and his cat phones. Yeah, because I enjoy the vibe of the show. I enjoy the aesthetic, but that was my face every time their scenes came on. Yeah. So next, we got the infamous Hikaru and Karu from Ouran High School Host Club. Now, we haven't watched the show, so don't come for us. I know some fans are sharpening their knives ready to attack, but from what I've seen of the show, it's either the fans or the show itself, they seem a little creepily close. Like, I know it's a host club, and they're probably doing fan servicey stuff in the host club, but it's still creepy nonetheless. It's like that I've gotten comments about us relating to Hikaru and Karu, and they have been creepy. They're like, cosplay as like Hikaru and Karu, and like it's all kind of like questionable vibes from them. I actually talked to one of our twin friends though, and they said they liked Hikaru and Karu, and they've actually seen the show, so they have the potential of getting taken off this list. Yeah, but that's my opinion for now. So they get a side glance and look away. So next is Kurei and Maeru Orihara from Durarara. So these are the worst of the worst. The other people on this list were like the fans that make it weird. This show makes it weird. There's a scene where they like smooch. Did not like that. I did not like what I did either just now. At the time we watched the show, we looked eerily similar to them as well. Like we had long brown hair. I mean, that's really it, but like, I had glasses. Yeah. And I was like, when I saw them in the show at first, I was like, oh my god, twins, that's so cool. That's like me. They're like twins of one of the main characters or antagonists. That's so cool. And then, yeah. So they're on this list, and they get a rating of I pretend I didn't see, because the show they're in is really good, and they're in like a way later season, so it's still an enjoyable show. Like if they didn't exist, because they don't exist in my head. Yeah, the show is good. So moving on, we got Juniper and Dagwood from Riverdale. Now we have never seen Riverdale before. We were looking at top 10 lists of like twins in media. Like we looked that up to do this list. Yeah, have never seen Riverdale. Saw them, and I was like, oh my god, a girl and guy twin and live action. I can put on this list. Like, I read this, and they immediately went on the bad list. So we're not just harping on Japan for being creepy with twins. America isn't getting off scot-free here. Every country is for some reason creepy with twins, which includes Riverdale. Now, Riverdale stands out there. You can correct me if I'm wrong, and if this article is wrong, but I put them on the list. Make your own video if you got a problem with mine. This was our face when we looked that up and read that same paragraph you just read. Next is the total opposites category. So this is another sort of version of like bad twins, where they're two total opposites of each other, and that's sort of like the point of the entire show, or the point of their relationship. And they don't even seem related at all, or they hate each other, or are rivals. Like there's not that many twins out there that are actually rivals. Moving on, we got Liv and Maddie from Liv and Maddie. The entire point of the show is that they're total opposites, and they both sort of play on like teen girl stereotypes. One's super girly, and one loves basketball, and one's just nerdy, kind of boring, kind of unoriginal. And the number one reason we put them on this list is because they're both played by the same actor. And that's stupid, because it's basically like saying all twins are the same person. They're interchangeable to each other when they're not. The exact same. I feel like it would cost way more to like do that, because the special effects and the CGI for that. Like, I feel like that would cost way more than just hiring two twin actors. And just hire actual twins, please. Disappointed but not surprised, because a lot of media does this. Next, we got another Disney show, Parent Trap. From Parent Trap. Now, they're on this list for the same reason the last show was. The twins in the show, both played by the same actor. Now, like I said, kind of viewing twins as interchangeable to each other and not different people, which kind of puts a bad stereotype on twins, which then has everyone refer to me as the twins or as a unit and not individual people. In the movie, they were raised by two different families. They switched places, and the people in their lives don't realize that they switch places, and that doesn't work in real life, because in elementary school, me and Red Moon switched places against our will by our 4th grade teacher. He grabbed me and he grabbed Red Moon. It was like, you're switching, and he pushed me into her class, and he pushed her into my class. I walked right in, and the kids in her class were like, Blue Moon, what are you doing here? And I went into Blue Moon's class, and I stood there with my books in my hand, and I didn't know where my seat was, and the kids were like, Red Moon, what are you doing in here? And it was also a bad day for the teacher to force us to do that, because I was wearing a shirt with my name on the back, because I played basketball at the time. So if they didn't know, they knew. But that's besides the point. It doesn't work. It has a plot hole in it to me. Because I feel like if your family and friends really know you, they would be able to tell you apart automatically. We're identical, and people would still tell us apart. Even back then in elementary school, we look pretty similar. Disney, do it right, please. Unoriginal. Next category is creepily similar. I know we just said that at the same time. We just said that at the same time, pre-planned, because all the characters on this list are purposely wearing like similar items, have similar personalities, and almost speak at the same time. Like, I've known we've been doing this throughout the video, but it's only because we pre-planned kind of what we were gonna say, so we knew what our thoughts were gonna be. So we're finishing each other's sentences, but it's kind of with a purpose. These characters live their everyday lives finishing each other's sentences, which is not realistic. No. They also look the same, and kind of makes you think, why did they make this character two characters when it could have just been one, because that's how similar they really are. So number one in this category is Alexi and Alexa Grady from The Shining. If one more freaking person tells me to dress up as these two children from The Shining for Halloween and go, hey guys, you should dress up as the twins from The Shining for Halloween. Like, do you know the twins from The Shining? You guys remind me of the twins from The Shining. Can you do this with the twins from The Shining? Like, stand at the end of the hallway and you kind of look like the twins from The Shining. Oh my god. I do not care. I do not care about them. I have never seen this movie. I do not care. It sucks. And because they're used as like an attraction to be like, look at them, they're so scary, aren't twins creepy? They're clones of each other, they're so similar. Because some people, for some reason, are creeped out as twins. Whenever we're like walking together, people were like, some people will literally look terrified. They'll be like. So they get a rating of SpongeBob being angry, I guess. Side-eyeing and side-eyeing. Because that's my reaction when people tell me you should cosplay them for Halloween. Like, cause I'm just tired. I'm tired. I'm exhausted of hearing it. Yeah. And next people on this list is Tweedledee and Tweedledum from Alice in Wonderland. This is an obvious one because, as you can imagine, we get called that all the time by our family and friends, and I'm tired. Think of something new, please. Think of a different pair of twins. I'm telling you. You can insult me, but try to be more original. Right. Try to be more funny. Tweedledee and Tweedledum. Hey, look who arrived. It's Tweedledee and Tweedledum. So funny. It's not. I didn't think I'd be mad at this video, but I would. Talking about it is like they get a rating of. Next, we got Thing 1 and Thing 2 from Dr.suess. You know, just on surface level, someone calling you Thing 1 and Thing 2 is already dehumanizing because they're just calling you Thing and they're labeling you a number. So I know when schools do twin day, best friends like to dress up as Thing 1 and Thing 2, but when I see that, I just die a little bit inside because I looked it up and these guys are literally twins, like it stated that they're twins, so Dr. Seuss is like, yeah, they're things. They're things for entertainment. I hate you. They get a rating of... This is what I want to do to Thing 1 and Thing 2, and please delete them now. Yeah. Next, we have the evil mastermind category. Like we mentioned earlier, the evil mastermind kind of involves clones, science, like being smart. A similar parallel is when Westerners look at K-pop or Asia in general, they're like, oh, these people, to my eyes, look the same, so I'm gonna think that they're evil and they're taking over the world and they're scientifically advanced and they're like, don't have human emotions and are just cold and calculating. Because Americans like to be individual, so as soon as they see someone who's not individual, they like to demonize them in some way, and a lot of times it's making them seem like not humans. Yeah. So we got Pops and Anti-Pops. Now, I'd never seen the end of Regular Show, although I love Regular Show. That seems like I'm being a hypocrite, but I do love Regular Show. So when I looked up the ending of Regular Show, I was like, what? I had no idea Pops had a twin, let alone a like mad scientist evil genius twin. I guess like this kind of pairing is playing on like the another twin stereotype we didn't bring up of the who's the evil twin and who's the good twin question we always get. I don't know why media likes to do that, but they do this with Anti-Pops. I've never seen a clip with Anti-Pops in it, so I don't know if it's like necessarily like horrible, but just the idea of it kind of goes in the bad category because Regular Show is kind of stereotyping twins as being big brain, which honestly, like, thank you, but also come on. But this was my face when I looked up the finale and what happens to Pops at the end. I was flabbergasted. Moving on. Next, we got Mary and Susan from Johnny Test. This is a Cartoon Network cartoon? No. Yeah, Disney XD. Disney XD cartoon about this dude who skateboards and he has, I don't know if he has talking siblings. Yeah, there's a sibling. There's a talking dog in the show? Yes, do you remember? What's the dog look like? He's like, stands on 2 legs.
What the dog do?
Anyways, we're not about the plot synopsis, but there's 2 twins in this show. They're main character sisters. They're sisters? I thought they were neighbors. No, they're sisters, I think. Anyway, take my opinion with a grain of salt because obviously I really don't know what I'm talking about. But I remember watching the show when I was a kid. Apparently not, I don't remember it enough. But I remember them in it. I didn't necessarily have a problem with them. They were just mad scientists. We put them on this list because they kind of fit into the stereotype of twins being like big brain. Right. And you know, her brain is like up here. Her brain's like back there. Their looks are fine. They look different enough. But their names are different. That's a plus. Yeah, that's a plus. The one thing I do remember from the show though was that they fought over the same guy. Which I was about to say is unrealistic until I remembered that we actually have twins in our family. Our great-great-grandparents, which our grandma told me about, were called Beatrice and Blanche. And Beatrice and Blanche liked the same guy. And basically one of them was going to get married to this guy. And the other twin was like, no, I'm stealing your man. I forget which one did it, but I'm just going to say Blanche for the story. Blanche stole Beatrice's man. They bought a house right next to each other, and who did I say who? One of them stared at the other one with the stank eye while they were chilling with their husband that they wanted in the house right next door. So that's a real story. Yeah. They fought over the same guy. It's not unrealistic. Yeah. But back to them, the one thing we have in common with Mary and Susan is that we hate Bling Bling Boy. And I put this in here because I thought it was funny.
Yeah.
Next, we got Johan and Nina from Monster. No spoilers for this show, but all spoilers at the same time, so if you don't really spoiled, skip ahead a little bit. I'll give you a brief plot synopsis. This is about a doctor who saves the lives of these twins, specifically Johan's, and Johan turns out to be a complete psychopath, so the doctor feels so guilty about it. He hunts Johan down years later to try killing him to make himself feel better. And I wish he did kill Johan because he's 70 episodes and he did not do that. So this gets a rating of Mob with a Gun because he really, in that one episode, stood there with the gun to Johan's head and did not shoot him because of morality or something. Just 70 episodes and you decide not to? His sister wanted him dead. Come on now. So then they're kind of in the bad category too because Johan's kind of like the stereotypical like mad scientist type guy, but also because there's a few episodes where Johan dresses up as Nina and nobody notices. That is unrealistic once again. So next, good representation. You made it past the negativity. Welcome. Hello. Good representation includes sibling energy. They have to have a sibling bond. Like they actually seem like siblings, not just two strangers or two clones talking to each other. Yeah. What? I took it off for you. I know it was B for reason why it looks bad. Like that. It also includes actual. They seem like actual people. Oh, that was a good high five. Okay, we're done. They seem like actual people. Doesn't seem too hard to ask for, but yeah, according to the list above that we talked about, it's hard. They seem like individual people, but not too far apart from each other where they seem unrealistic. They actually seem pretty legit, and they're not creepy. You know what we mean by that. Okay, I had a little extra spice there. And the first people in this category are Timmy and Tommy from Animal Crossing. And hold on, before you were like, you're being hypocritical because there are people like them up in the bad category, and you're right. But hear me out, they're wearing their work uniforms, and they're similar because they're twins. You just can't tell them apart. Because they're wearing their work uniforms. Yeah. That's on you. We love Timmy and Tommy here. Maybe their names could have been like a little more individual instead of like just replacing one letter and calling it like good enough. Right. But in the game they're in Animal Crossing New Horizon, you can walk up to them in their little shop and talk to them individually. They aren't like a unit you talk to. You can go up to either one of them, which marks them as individual people, which puts them on the good list. And yeah, I don't have any reason to hate them. All the pages in this book of reasons to hate them are blank. Next, we got Dipper and Mabel from Gravity Falls. This is the first twins I thought of when I thought of what to put on the good list, because the show Gravity Falls was written by an actual twin for once. They're sort of like some twins on this list where they're completely different from each other, but they do it in a good way where that's not the point of the entire show and that's not the point of their characters and their relationship together. That they're different, but they're more like they are different, and that's realistic. And they actually seem like siblings and act like siblings. So we love that for them, and that's why they're on this list. Yeah. They get a rating out of Taka on the thumbs up. Yeah. Next, we got Zach and Cody from The Sweet Life of Zach and Cody. Now, they get a plus on this list, even though they are similar to Dipper and Mabel and Liv and Maddie, where one's a jock, one's like manly or girly. I actually don't one's nerdy and one's mischievous, I think it was. But I don't remember that a lot from the show. They always kind of ended up getting involved in each other's shenanigans together. Like, that didn't feel like it was the point of the show. Right. So, and they were played by actual twins. So that's definitely got it right one time. Automatically puts them in the good list for me. They get a little cute little thing from Peppa Pig. Yeah, because that was me when I was 10 watching Sweet Life on deck specifically. Just enjoying it, watching the show. Next, we got Fred and George from Harry Potter. Now, there will be minor spoilers for Harry Potter in this section. If you care about these characters, major spoilers. If you care about them, major spoilers. Do not watch the next part. Okay, Fred and George, they're played by actual twins, which is amazing. Bravo. Love that for them. They do play into the mischievous stereotype twins have sometimes, but we love them for that. They have individual scenes like away from each other. They seem like their own individual people. And they seem like siblings as well. They just act like siblings. And yeah, I mean, they are wearing the same suits in this, but they're pretty fire suits. So I can't even say, like, they get a plus. Yes. And this is their rating. You know, J.K. Rowling has a history of not representing people right, and I was gonna give her a pass on this because it's pretty good representation of twins until the end when she killed one of them off. Just for sadness. Just for the drama. The one, I forget which one died. I think it was George. When George died, Fred did not get any character development out of it. It was just literal sadness. Just what was the point? It was just, she was like, you know what would be really fun? Like separating the two most closest people to the show. The bond between twins is so much different and so much closer than anyone else I could have picked. That would just make it so perfectly devastating, and just for the drama and the sadness, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna kill them. And there's probably more shows that do that and just put twins in a show just to kill them, and no, I hate that. And that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to revive them. Yes. Next, we got Osamu and Atsumu Miya from Haikyuu. The Miya twins. Yes. When they first showed up, I did not like them. I was like, oh my god, they're gonna be stereotypical like powerhouses, the same, just kind of like robotic, like we're good at volleyball. But they're really good, and they were similar enough and different, like the perfect balance. We loved them. They were actually like siblings, and I loved, my favorite part about them is when they were younger, they looked very similar, like in their flashbacks. When they got older, they dyed their hair different colors to try looking different. And that sounds a little bit like somebody I know. Yeah. And I liked how they were on the same volleyball team, and they didn't seem to really have a huge rivalry. They worked really well as a team, and it just shows that twins don't have to be split up and so different to exist in the world. And it felt like there was a point to both their characters because they both helped each other develop, which is very nice. Love that. And they get a rating of all of my love because I love Suga. And I give him to them. Yes. Next, we got Tim and Jim from Kim Possible. Now, look, we never watched Kim Possible a lot when we were younger, so when I was looking at the list of twins, I was like, there's twins in Kim Possible, and I looked at them, and let me tell you, I was gonna put them in the bad list, but that would be very hypocritical of me. Because they go on the red and the green color scheme, kind of like us. Yes. And as soon as Blue Moon showed me this picture, I was like, I would be a hypocrite if I said they were unrealistic. Because that's basically a picture of me in Red Moon. That's basically our brand. Yeah. We're Red Moon and Blue Moon. Although he was green, and I'm green. Wears green a lot. Green Moon wouldn't sound as good. It wouldn't. So. And I didn't like that they're mad scientists. You know, I think the show basically treats them the way like other shows treat mad scientists that we showed earlier on this list, where they're like, oh, they're so smart and like no one can figure them out. They're exact clones of each other. But I watched this one scene of them, and I thought to myself, they act exactly like like I can't even front. I was gonna be like, come in there all hypocritical, and I was like, okay, this is me, so I can't even say anything. And I get Kim Possible is the show like about spies, so it makes sense that they're like scientists, but also like they could have just had a brother or two, but they decided to put twins in like for a reason, because it's a science show or a show about like technology. So I felt like it had more of a purpose than the other shows. So but their names are Tim and Jim, which they could have done. They did the same thing as Timmy and Tommy, so they kind of get like a negative on my scale that I don't even have. But since they're so similar to us, they're on the good representation list. So we're a little hypocritical here. That was me looking at them, realizing I'm basically looking in the mirror. I may have been a hypocrite this entire video. Next, we got neutral representation. I know we said in the beginning we're only doing good and bad, but we're doing neutral. These are twins that we saw on TV shows that we didn't have any feelings about, or any strong feelings about specifically. We were kind of like, oh, they're alright, but they're not the best. So they're great, but not too bad. And this is going to be a speed round because we don't have that much opinion about them. Yeah. And I, once again, had a good time making this. Yeah. First, we got Patty and Selma from The Simpsons. Now, I had to watch The Simpsons a lot when I was younger. My dad didn't feel like parenting when we were at his house over the weekend. He would sit us down in front of the TV, force us to watch The Simpsons. I didn't know what was going on, but I do remember Patty and Selma, and I did not have any opinions about them at all. Yeah. So I deem that as them not being too bad. Yeah. They go on the neutral list, and this was me when I was 10 watching The Simpsons, and all the adult jokes would just go in one ear and out the other. So 10 out of 10 for them. Next, we got, what are their names? Phil and Lou from the Rugrats. And they're on the neutral list because we're probably just as annoying as they were in the show, because all I remember them doing was crying and complaining and being babies. So I'm like, yeah, you know, I probably looked exactly like that when I was little and cried and was so annoying. So they're on the neutral list because I can't really say much about them because I'd be hypocrite. Yeah, and although their names are kind of bad, they look like me when I was a baby, but if anyone else tells me that, I will be mad at them. So that's why they get this rating. But I secretly do know I looked that ugly when I was a baby. Yes. And probably worse. I probably look worse than that. Yeah. Next, we got Mario and Luigi. Did you know they were twins? I did not. Apparently they're fraternal twins. I didn't know until 2 days ago, and I was stunned. Shocked. I don't know why I never figured this out. Some of you Nintendo fans are probably like, you were so stupid. Like, well, how do you never know that? They look like brothers or something. And I think that's actually a plus for them because twins can actually look that different. And I like how they did that. And they're fraternal twins, so I guess they're supposed to look a lot different. I don't know everything about twins. Why I'm making this video now, I don't know, but we don't know everything about twins. We don't know every twin fact, but I guess fraternal twins are supposed to look more different. And they do a good job with that, so I can't really say much because I feel like I can't speak on them specifically because I don't know much. They get a sort of bad rating though because a while ago we posted a TikTok that for some reason got 1 million views about us being twins, and all of the comments were saying we looked like Mario and Luigi. People thought they were clever because we have red and green hair. And I saw those comments for at least 5 days straight, non-stop, and okay, I get it, we have red and green hair, but now I really get it because apparently they're fraternal twins. So now I feel like that's more acceptable to me, but they still get a bad rating of I feel like a victim of bullying because of that scenario. Sorry, Mario and Luigi, you'll forever remind me of my TikTok comments. Yeah. Next, we got Peppa, Bruno, and Julieta from Encanto. They're triplets, but I wanted to speak on them because I like, just like Mario and Luigi, they look different even though they're twins and they're triplets. Triplets and twins can look different from each other, and that's why I put them on the neutral list because I thought that was pretty good, but not good enough because I feel like the relationship in the movie was not greatly painted. I forgot they were triplets halfway through the movie because they like did not care about each other at all. Peppa was talking shit about Bruno to the main character, like, you know the song We Don't Talk About Bruno. She started it off, like she came with fire. And she was mad. Like, I get it, you grow older and you're like don't really care about your siblings as much. You're like, okay, he's 50, you can do whatever you want. But Julieta never said she didn't like Bruno, but yet she did not say that she missed him or anything throughout the movie. When he showed up, they were happy, but it didn't seem like they were happy. Like, where's the excitement, where's the tears? They're just like, oh, like, I feel like it wasn't realistic. And Peppa and Julieta barely talked to each other the entire movie, which I also felt was sort of unrealistic, but I get they had a lot of characters to try figuring out, so that's why they're in the neutral list. Right, and I feel like Bruno, like, should have told them, like, I was living in the walls because I really like my family, I missed you guys. But he didn't do that. So that's why they're in neutral list. Not necessarily bad, not necessarily good. The song We Don't Talk About Bruno is really good, so that's why they didn't get a bad rating. Acceptable! Except they're acceptable. Next, spoiler warning for these 3 shows/movies. Gravity Falls, this random movie called The Prestige, and Black Butler. If you don't want to be spoiled for any of those, Black Butler includes the manga, by the way. Do not continue watching this part of the video if you don't want to spoiler. That's the second warning. That's the final warning. Leave now or forever be mad. Anyways, so this category is called Twist Twins. These twins are thrown in at the end of a series when they want to create a plot twist, and they're like, do you know, it'd be cool if one of the main characters had a twin this entire time. And they think that's such a great original idea. But the thing is, they don't hint at it throughout the series, so it just kind of comes as a surprise and is really random. It's like a cheap, overused twist. It kind of feels like the rug's pulled out from under you. Why the heck would you add this random plot point in? Right. And I was attached to this character and I have to be attached to a similar version of them. First is a movie I don't know if many people have heard of. I have a lot of anime stuff in this list, so I don't know if a lot of people here watch live action movies. But this is a movie called Prestige about 2 magicians both trying to master the same trick. They're trying to be the best magician on the block, and they're trying to master the teleportation trick. One magician figures out with magic, and one magician figures out, but the movie doesn't tell you how they do the teleportation trick until the end. It is a plot twist that is revealed. The other person does the teleportation trick because he is a twin. Oh my god. Oh, what a shocker. Yes. Whoa. What a crazy shocker. Whoa. He is a twin. And they basically live the same lives, like date the same women, and somehow they're fine with that. And somehow people didn't notice. But actually, like, slightly, there was like some scenes that sort of hinted at like their lovers noticing, but like not big enough for like... This is sort of a side rant, but I feel like good hints in TV shows and movies should help viewers figure out what's going on before it actually happens. Like, I know a lot of people's like, I figured it out before it actually happens. It was a bad show, I didn't like it. But like, I feel like good shows or hints should be like helpful. This movie, they had hints to show you this guy could have possibly had a twin. But it's so abstract. It's so like abstract and you wouldn't guess it. Like, if you were thinking, maybe he has a twin, he's figuring this out, and you're looking for hints to try proving your point, you wouldn't be able to find it. You wouldn't be able to. No. And my teacher was so obsessed with this movie. He was so excited to have us watch it. He made us watch it for homework. We came into the next class and he was like, guys, how many of you have watched the movie? And everyone was like, yeah, I loved it. It was the best movie ever. That twist was awesome. And I raised my hand to state my opinion. And I was like, as a twin myself, I did not like how it represented twins, because to me, like, him and his twin faking their lives felt unrealistic. I know there was magic in this movie, so there is unrealisticness in this movie, but me as a twin, it's kind of bad twin representation. It leads to people coming up to me asking, would you and your twin ever, like, switch lives with each other? And it just kind of annoys me, so when the plot twist was revealed, I sort of, like, rolled my eyes.
Please say psych right now, you know.
I was like that meme. Please say psych. After I was done saying that, my teacher was staring at me the whole time as I was saying it, did not interrupt me. He looked at me, a girl across the room raised her hand, he called on her, he didn't even say anything, but he went, yes, and she went, oh my god, the movie was so good, and blah 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 blah, I love the twist at the end, blah blah, and he was like, yeah, me too, and I was like, that was my face when he blatantly ignored me.
Just flabbergasted. Alright, so this is the spoiler for Black Belt we were talking about. In the manga, it is revealed that CL, the main character, has a twin, and when I looked this up, his twin doesn't even really have a name. I literally tried digging, and his name is just CL Phantom Hive, like the main character, and it doesn't make sense to me. I'm like, ugh. And the main difference between them is that the one twin smiles more, and the swoop in their hair goes to different directions.
It's basically like hiring the same actor to play a set of twins. Because that's how similar they look. Their personalities are different, but I just didn't like it.
Like, oh, what?
And there was no hints throughout the entire anime or manga as far as I can tell. I'm not caught up with the manga, but there was really no hints. It was like 100 or so chapters into the manga. It just didn't feel planned at all. Black Butler fans can correct me if I'm wrong, but that's kind of how I see it. So it's in kind of like a bad category to me. I made a lot of things spin in this.
Oh, they spin.
They get a CL looking confused because that was me when I realized there was a
Which
twist.
CL is it? We don't know because he doesn't have a name.
Right. Is this CL or is this CL? Yeah. I will never know. Next. Last person on this list is Grunkle Stan and Ford from Gravity Falls. I know we've had Gravity Falls on the good list, and these kind of fall on like a weird category for me because I love Gravity Falls and the representation of twins. I think they're good representations of twins, right? But Ford falls in this category of being like a mad scientist. He's really smart, and Grunkle Stan's kind of like the jock twin, and it was hinted at throughout the whole show. So it's kind of this weird category where, okay, like, I like Gravity Falls, so we can't really say much. But that wasn't really the point of their characters, and by the end of the show, they, like, grew to appreciate each other, and they were good for each other's character development.
Yes. But Grunkle Stan did impersonate Ford.
He did?
Yeah. Like, didn't he steal his name? Isn't it? Maybe his name's Ford. I forget.
I forgot about that.
Because he stole his name, Stan, right? Yeah, so they kind of
So he's Stan. He's actually Ford, but he stole his name.
Yeah.
So maybe this is more bad than I thought because they got to impersonate each other and nobody noticed.
But it was cool that they had Stan, I guess he's Stan, have like 6 fingers because like some twins have like birth defects and stuff.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Because we've asthma because we were born early, so I feel like that's good representation. Yeah. I don't know where I'm at. We're kind of like talking in circles this entire video.
So sorry we sound like hypocrites. Gravity Falls is great, so ignore everything I just said. They're amazing. They're written by actual twins. I automatically puts them at 100.
Yeah.
And that's the end of this conversation. We're done.
That was 25 twins we went through. If you can think of any more, feel free to comment down below. If you're a twin and you have more ideas
or different opinions,
yes.
Now everything we said in this video was just a joke. I'm actually not that bothered by anything that I said, and
yeah, you can have different opinions than us. This was kind of just based on our own personal experiences. And we know there are twins out there that are really similar, that are creepily close, that are polar opposites.
So these are all sort of realistic in a strange sense, but they're not realistic to me, and this is just my opinion. If you don't like it, go make your own video. So, with all that being said, this video is probably freaking long. We're gonna wrap it up by saying TwoDream is to expand your imagination
and create your own reality.
Anything's possible, and things don't have to make sense. Just like this list, because we are hypocrites.
And we're talking in circles. If you want to check out our Instagram, TikTok, share TikTok, your TikTok, my TikTok, feel free to. We also have a Redbubble that we're trying to update. So if you want to check out any of our social medias, feel free to, and see you in our next video.
Peace out.